Are just about to begin. So let's go across to our commentators for today's two games, Marshall Seifert and Gary Ward.
Well, the game all ready to start here, and the New Zealand side will bat first in their batting order. Starting off will be Jeff Strom from Wellington, then Eddie Kalassi from Auckland. Jimmy Cotter, who is the designated hitter in this game. He is from the Hutt Valley, batting for Kevin Herlihy, who will not appear in the batter's box today. Then will come Ian Stringer from Auckland, the team catcher. Darryl Stratford from Nelson. Then Jimmy Hall, Canterbury. Ray Marsh from Canterbury. Jamie Campbell from deep in the south. And Michael Nichols will tail off the batting order for New Zealand. The last mentioned there, number 10, Kevin Herlihy. He will be the fellow replaced throughout this game by Ian Stringer, the designated hitter. There's Kevin Herlihy taking his warm-up routines, and Jimmy Cotter, of course, the designated hitter in this game. And Herlihy, who widely regarded as the best pitcher in New Zealand and perhaps one of the best in the world. And probably, Marshall, probably fair to say that he's in the twilight of his career at being something like, what, 34, 35 years of age. And in terms of New Zealand softball, well, that's getting a little ancient.
Well, yes, overseas it isn't old. In fact, I'd say there are men still in the top 5 who are 40. So Kevin wouldn't feel that his career is in its twilight, but he certainly has served New Zealand well, and for the last 3 or 4 years has been a very prominent sportsman in America. A real professional softball player in the best sense of the word.
Teams going through their introductions at the moment, with the Can-Am side running out onto the field, being introduced through the public address system, and pitching for the American-Canadian team this afternoon, Rob Scheller. At catcher will be Rocky Vitale. At first base, Bruce Baird. At second base, Micky Ruscoe. At third base, Gordon McFadden. And at shortstop, Chad Corcoran, who plays in the Hutt Valley and is again widely regarded as one of the best players in the world. At left field will be Randy Burnside. In centre field, Brian Rothrock. And at right field, Dennis Eckert. Having a look at the umpires for today's game, calling the balls and strikes will be that man on the left, umpire Mulholland. Then on first base, David England from Wellington. And at third base, that fellow on the right, Mr. Ray Lasua, who has been around the umpiring scene in New Zealand for eons.
Eons, is that long, Gary, is it, or what?
I had someone use it at breakfast. I thought it was long. It took him a long time to say it.
I thought it was radioactive or something.
All just about ready to get underway with Jeff Strom, who plays for Johnsonville, the first batter up. Plays for Johnsonville in the Wellington competition. Will be facing the pitching of Rob Scheller.
There he is. Now, that's an exciting young prospect. He's a Canadian. I think he's only 20 years old. And in the last big championship, which was held in Auckland in the club championship, this man was outstanding. In fact, it's not over yet because he managed to get a tie game with Miramar. It was called because of light and has to be replayed. But it's only a matter of a few years before we'll see him in the World Series playing for Canada, Gary. I think he's that good.
Right. Marshall, in at the opening of the Sport on One special, my prediction was that New Zealand would win both of these games this afternoon. How do you see it?
1-1.
1-1. Which one will New Zealand win?
That's right.
Scheller. And the first pitch of the game will be thrown by Scheller to that fellow there, Jeff Strom.
Now, that's interesting, isn't it, Gary, that he was in line for that slot on the national soccer team. In fact, I think he almost had his name on that, but he said, no, I want to play softball.
Yeah, he's a very capable and a very gutsy sportsman, is Jeff Strom. He's been around the sporting scene for some time, has always stuck with the Johnsonville club, and has really been a boon to that side. Now, the two games played yesterday had Jeff Strom going to bat 7 times and collecting just the one safe hit for an average of .143.
Short play, ladies and gentlemen. They're waiting to go on here with TV. We're not very
just about
far away
ready.
from it right now.
There's the scene. Now, as Graham Thorne said a little while ago it was bucketing down earlier in the day. At 6 o'clock the skies opened, and however things have come a lot better since then. The weather has become, in rather typical Auckland fashion, hot and ever so slightly humid.
Well, who would believe that it's a beautiful sight out there, Gary? This morning it was raining like it does in Hutt Valley and those sort of places, and I didn't think that we were going to have a ball game, but now it's beautiful out there. Now that infield is a bit of an optical illusion, because if you look at it closely, there's some big spots out there that are very muddy, and it's deep, and it's even hilly.
It is. It is not an even surface out there, and therefore it could be that we'll see some errors, but nevertheless, as we said before, same for both sides. And there you see the playing surface looking like the lunar surface.
Oh, there is no way that the lads would play on a pitch like that, let's face it.
Indeed not. Jeff Strom.
Come on, Bear, let's go.
Facing the pitching of Rob Scheller, number 4.
I think Strom's going to be magic here today. Strom didn't play in those games yesterday. We had made a bit of a blue with those stats, but Strom is ready. I think he's one of the most exciting softball players that we've had in the last couple of years here.
4-1 strikeout.
Also, what you see with Strom is that he gives us a left-handed lead-off batter, which in softball is really good. If he wants to lay down a bunt, he's a fifth of the way to first base. There's a good slap hit. That's the way to open it up, Jeff Strom, out of sight. There is an exciting softball player, Gary, and that's just what didn't happen in the game there yesterday. With the New Zealand side, it was really only Cotter and maybe Stringer who were doing that. Now we lead off with him.
Now also, Marshall, notice how he choked up on the hit. He didn't bother going for the long handle to try and pop it over the fence. He just sliced it into left field shallow territory. So the first batter of the game, safe on base, and a rather auspicious start for New Zealand.
And look what we got up now, Eddie Colassi. Now, the thing we cannot do right in this country, and it's the most galling fact to all softball people, is we can't bloody well bunt the thing. And yesterday we were shocking. Now, this is the fastest New Zealand player we've had in years. He's a good bunter if he can just calm down. It's his job to move Strom down to second base.
Strike 1. Fouls it off again. Now, Rob Scheller is pitching a rather intelligent sort of game here because he's throwing drop balls.
That was a good drop.
Indeed he has, and it comes through the strike zone, drops out of the strike territory in an awful hurry. And Colassi fouls 2 off. Strike 2. Safe on first, Jeff Strom. The pressure on Scheller. Ball 1, strike 2.
Okay, now remember, it's his job to sacrifice. It's his job to hit the ball on the ground to get Strom down to 2. He can't strike out. Sorry about that. That was not your job, Eddie Colassi. It was his job to bunt. Now, that's what we didn't see yesterday, the basics.
Up to bat, we have Jimmy Cotter, who's the designated hitter in this game, will not take part in the game in the field. And there's Jimmy Cotter, and with an average like that, no wonder he's the designated hitter. 6 times at bat for 2 hits yesterday for 3-3-3.
And they were good big hits, too. And he also made an outstanding catch in the outfield. So as far as New Zealand is concerned, Cotter's ready. But what's sad at the moment is that Strom isn't down to 2 where a hit could score him. So that Cotter, who is one of our best long ball hitters, now has to look on as the sacrifice hitter. Incidentally, Strom was really on his wheels there. He was all the way down to 2.
He's a fast mover. Also, being a left-handed batter, he gets along to that first base a lot quicker than the right-handers do.
I'd like to see them call the hit and run here, Gary, and let Strom try to steal. They go to 1. Good sacrifice, but it was a waste of Cotter.
Got time. Time's out.
Okay, now here's something exciting in the form of Ian Stringer. Now, Ian Stringer is our first true power batter. When String fires up, there's no fence in New Zealand that is safe.
The broad shoulders of Ian Stringer, on whom rests the future of this innings for New Zealand. No score in the top half of the first innings. Ian Stringer, 1 hit out of 4 turns at bat yesterday. Can he come up with the magic now?
And there we see Strom on 2. He'll be away at the pitch. It would be great, Gary, if New Zealand could get a lead. It would sort of wipe out a lot of the bad feeling of their performance on Saturday. There's a good hit, but it's right to Corcoran. He'll make no mistake. Good dive and one by Stringer. Side retired.
Well, we saw Chad Corcoran picking that one up, and Corcoran, who, as I said before, plays in the Hutt Valley competition at the moment, has a safe pair of hands. But there's the New Zealand side returned to the dugout and not really looking like being in the scoring action, despite the good action of Jeff Strom and getting on base safely as the first batter of the game. And Marshall, I must say the game looks as though it might have a bit of action in it right throughout the 7 innings. Let's hope so.
Yes, but let's face it, Gary, it's our job in World Series year not to take the easy options and say the things that we do well. As far as I'm concerned, it's my job anyway to say what we do badly. There's the Can-Am All-Stars, but what I was going to say was Colassie didn't bunt, and we lost a good run opportunity there. Now, that's a really good All-Star side there. There are 6 players who are playing in New Zealand, and I really like the Yanks who are out here at the moment. They're the quiet, really top-notch players that we're getting now. It's not the sort of strutting around guy who used to be here a few years ago. These guys are really good and inspiring a lot of our young players.
Well, it's a reversal of days gone by when New Zealanders used to go to America to get experience. Now the Americans enjoy coming here because the level of play at the very highest standard is excellent, and the fellow who's made it excellent as much as anyone is that man, Kevin Hurley.
Mr. Softball, eh?
Sure is. And Herlihy, he's got something to prove here, Marshall. He's no automatic selection for the New Zealand team.
Oh, well, no, I think what you're speaking about is he #1. And Michael White is in such outstanding form that Kevin really has to play up to his maximum potential if he wants to retain the #1 spot. And that's great for our softball, isn't it? That there's someone to push Kevin Hurley.
Now, the heading area to get a home run in this game means a 235-foot hit to get it over the fence, but then it has to be somewhat further than that to clear the fence, which is about 7 or 8 feet high. So certainly a high hit needed to get over. And Brian Rothrock, the first batter in for the Can-Am All-Stars.
Brian Rothrock. Well, there he is. He was out here with ADM a year ago, and he is one of the best, what we call, pure batters that we'll ever see in this country. A former professional baseball player, but very relaxed and one of the best pure batters. Who would you say is a pure batter at cricket, Gary? I mean, who could you compare him with? Just intense natural ability.
In the New Zealand team?
Yeah, in the New Zealand team.
In days gone by, Dennis Chain.
No, I'm talking about cricket. Who's our best pure batter at cricket? Good pitch there.
Shane wasn't awfully good at cricket.
Very exciting, this. You're seeing one of the world's best pitchers against one of the world's best batters. I mean that in every way.
Strike 2 and ball 1. Now, Herlihy took a little bit of pace off that to get it into the strike zone. He's throwing quite a few rising deliveries that come through looking as though they're right in the center of the strike zone, but lifting them up with that rising delivery. But see what he throws this time through.
Well, it's not easy to strike out Rothrock. He usually gets bat to ball.
That's what I mean about the rising delivery.
Yeah.
Up it came, and having to get up in a great hurry to grab hold of it was Ian Stringer, the New Zealand catcher.
It's good to see Strings in back of the plate. He's had a lot of knee injuries this year. It's good to see him back there.
Ball up here.
It's a great duel here, and both opponents are aware, but it's a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Each man knows the other well. They would compete quite a bit in America.
Mark here, corner.
Herlihy, having spent 3 or 4 seasons in America, familiar with.
Oh, he got it, but Rothrock's pretty quick. He'll be safe. Oh,
well. Well, some great play by Stringer to retrieve what was a dropped strikeout. So Rothrock.
Watch this now. Yeah, I think the ump was right. Now, I would have thought that was a good call at first base. I think it's Ron Andrews down there. That was a good call. Nice recovery from Stringer. But once again, there's no way that String should have dropped that ball.
Now, this is one of the pities of the catching situation as it exists in New Zealand at the moment. Not since the days of Peter Priddy and Terry Nuns have we had brilliant catches. I regard Stringer as a strike. I regard Stringer as being a pretty good sort of catcher, but measure him alongside Priddy and Nuns, and he's a stopper.
He's a workman. Now, this is another exciting American. He's here at the moment, and he plays in Hutt Valley. I personally have never seen a faster player than Chad Corcoran. Again, a former professional baseball player. But you see, he's left-handed, which once again, he's out of that box on a bunt or what they call a slap hit. Just so fast.
Ball 1, strike 1. There you see it. There's the swing you were talking about.
Yes, lovely, lovely flat sort of slappy thing. When you say a slap hit, what he doesn't want to do is pop the ball up. He wants to move it, just to slap it down into the dirt. Make someone play it. See how he's out of that box?
Marshall, it surprises me that he doesn't get called out more often for hitting the ball when he's not within the confines of the batting box.
Well, let's face it, Gary, when you and I played softball, that guy'd be out every time. I mean, it's the umpires who have altered. Now they say that your foot has to meet the ground. And he starts at the bat of the box, the back. See how he runs forward in the box? He just struck out. And you'll see that he starts at the back of the box. Now watch his feet. See the way he runs forward? Looks to slap the ball, then he turns. So if he'd made contact, even though it seems to the fielders that he's already halfway down to 1, it's legal what he's doing. It's exciting to see, isn't it?
It is indeed, and it's only when you see it on the delayed replay, like we did just a little moment ago, that you see that he really is batting quite legally.
Good pitch. Good pitch. He kept that low and just caught the outside corner. All the hurls, he's going well, isn't he?
A lot of fire there. There's the change-up, a slower delivery with the fast arm action. Ball 1, strike 1.
Micky Ruscoe, a big hitter, also is playing here in New Zealand at the moment. Nice guy, real character, actually. Micky Ruscoe. Held it back. In fact, he looks a bit like he's out of a Western film. As I said there yesterday over the PA down south, he looks like the guy who's usually wearing the black hat.
Micky Ruscoe plays at third base for this Can-Am side. Bats at number 3. Will he be the third out? Here's the dropping delivery from Hurley.
He's keeping him low. Obviously, he knows that he's weak on that outside low corner there, so that's where Herlihy is aiming.
Ball 2, strike 2.
Now, he'll be going for a big swing here. It's 2 down. Herlihy knows it. Oh, nice pitch. Field him. Look at Ruscoe. He wasn't a happy man there. Look at Micky Ruscoe. Looking at 2 of them. You don't find that at this level of softball very often, do you? Here, look at this. Left it. He obviously knows, he and Stringer, Kevin and Stringer have worked out that the guy leaves outside corners because that's what he did. You find the weakness and you pitch it there.
I thought it might have been just a fraction outside. I thought Ruscoe had cause for complaint there just a little bit. It's the old story. The third strike that's coming through, if it's anywhere near close, you can't take the risk.
You can't take the risk, is right. But that's interesting. That's very much part of this sport. If you recall there when both of them had gone after Coney, that's right. And it was after the hook shot, and he was going high inside at him all the time with those bouncers. That's the same thing that happens all the time in softball. If they can spot a weakness, they'll exploit it.
The new batter in for New Zealand will be Darryl Stratford, a Nelsonian who is a relative newcomer to top play of this international standard anyway. And Rob Scheller taking his warm-up pitches. He will have locked in his memory the fact that in that first innings, Jeff Strom collected the first hit of the game, the only one so far. Darryl Stratford. Left outfield for New Zealand. Yes, Stratford playing in left field is the guy who, to a degree in this game, or certainly in this game, has replaced Dennis Chain.
Well, I don't know about that. He is after an infield spot as a utility infielder. He's the second fastest player on this team and a very good batter. He plays out of Nelson, which is a bit of... There's a good hit. There's a cracker of a hit. That's what Stratford does well. He's batted about 800 at some championships. He's a very exciting player. In fact, he's a lot like a few years ago, there was a young guy called Anderson who got into a north-south game. Stratford has that sort of potential. He's very fast, very good batter, and a hit like that is very good for his career at the moment, Gary.
It sure is, and I guess there are those who would say that Stratford does well in the minor leagues. Ball one does well in the minor leagues when Nelson are playing against the teams of less ability, I guess, but you get him up with the big boys and he comes across with the...
Well, that's what you hear in the Wellington Hut area all the time. Who did he beat? Who did he beat? Just, there are better ball players around. Now, once again, it's a job to get him down to 2. It's Jimmy Hall's job here to sacrifice him down to 2. Now, Hall is a power batter, but everyone should be able to bunt. Here comes the bunt. Laid down, a good bunt, a good sacrifice bunt. Now that's good play, good construct. You listen to those fans. They know it wasn't there yesterday. This is what's known as doing your job.
Now we saw coming in from third base to pick it up there was Gordie McFadden, and he lost his footing just for a second because he was going to have a go at Stratford, and there you see Stratford safe on second. Losing his footing for just a split second was enough for him to have to take the out at first base.
Well, it's a good thing he didn't throw that ball because Stratford is really fast. Now, here's Ray Marsh in.
Oh.
Ray Marsh from Canterbury with a runner on second, 1 out, and no score in the early part of the second innings.
Now, Ray is overdue. He had a bad game yesterday. He didn't get a hit, and he struck out once at a vital stage, so Marsh is ready. Once again, a good power batter, a tough softball player, actually. Ooh, what a cut. Good drop ball then, Gary.
Yeah, both pitchers are pitching in ideal conditions because they have the breeze into their face and they can move the ball all over the place. And both of them are pitchers who are able to throw the ball at speed and move it through the air as well. Okay, that makes the second out. Meanwhile, we have Stratford safe on third base, and he is on the devil's spot on third, and up to bat comes Jamie Campbell. Now, Campbell also, although he's batting at number 8 in this team, is also capable of hitting the ball and hitting it hard and often.
I feel a run here. That young lad on the mound is 20 years old. Now, this is a lot of pressure early in this game. I could even see a wild pitch here. I just feel, Gary, that there's a run in the air.
Campbell in the batter's box.
Ooh, what was he swinging at there? What a drop ball that was. It just never got near the bat.
He'd been committed to it before it started to drop out of the strike zone. Oh, now there was the identical pitch.
Yeah,
but he read it that time.
He did.
Knew that it was going to drop out of the strike zone, let it go by.
I don't know, Gary. I just feel something's going to happen here. Oh, that was off the foot of the catcher, I think. That would have hurt.
Ball 2, strike 2. Jamie Campbell, I think the only Southlander in this team.
No, there is also an outfielder, Thompson.
Oh, of course.
Royden Thompson. But he's got a slot for the third base position in New Zealand, which he's occupied for 2 years. Struck out. That didn't help your career, Jamie Campbell. Once again, a New Zealander stranded on base.
Well, what can often happen in these games? Let's watch that strikeout again. There's the
another drop. Now, that's a good example. With that drop there, you could see the ball is... It's more or less an optical illusion, isn't it? Because you expect the ball to either stay level or to go up. Now, just watch this. A whip in. Remember, it's coming in about 80, 85 miles an hour, and then suddenly it deviates right down underneath the bat.
Let me give a word of praise to our cameraman to have got it as clearly as that.
That was
well
good.
done.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, we move into the bottom half of the second innings. Gordie McFadden is the new batter up.
In a second, in the hole, catcher Rocky Vitale.
And McFadden, with his first turn into the batter's box, will be anxious knowing that Herlihy is out there. And Herlihy looking as though he's got plenty of action in that arm of his this afternoon. There's Jamie Hall, the shortstop from Canterbury. And Jimmy Hall, without wanting to sound like a ghoul, you may remember that when we were televising the Cowans tournament, it was Hall who copped a cleat in the shin, and suddenly it started to rain blood. And if we can go down and have a look at his shin, he actually still wears a plate. There you see it, just below his socks, you see the plate on his left foot, which comes from his knee down to about shin level, and that is because he still has to have it quite tightly strapped. Gordie McFadden in the batter's box.
A good batter here, Gary. A dangerous batter, actually.
I got you.
One hit from 6 turns at bat for an average of .167.
But that hit of his scored 2 runs yesterday.
Is that the one that rattled the fence?
It was a big one.
Ball 1, strike 1. Bats at number 4, so is obviously regarded by the Can-Ams as being the biggest hitter in the team.
Ball out there.
Ball.
21.
Still going after that outside corner.
Oh, that's in there. Yeah.
That's what's called a Texas League single, which means it just sort of bloops in there. It's not a big hit, but it's a very useful hit because it gets the man on one. Now, let's see. Here's the pitch. Good pitch. Had him jammed or crowded in. That's why it was off, but it was actually a full swing, but the ball had gone inside on him, so he didn't hit it very far. I don't think he planned that, Leaguer. I think he was going for the big one.
Dennis Eckert into the batter's box.
Here's 2. Here's 2. Yep. Force out at second base. What I was saying there was that we'd hope for a double play. There seemed to be a little bit of a mix-up there at 2 because the ball was thrown, I think. Here, let's just watch this. Now, the ball is hit to Hall. He picks it up, looks for Colassi, who, as you see, they had to change feet. All right? Now, ideally, he should have stepped on second base and thrown in the same action, and then he would have stood a chance. Yeah. Once again, it's the basics. We've got some very young infielders, a lot of potential, though.
Rocky Vitale, the new batter up, with a runner on first, 1 out in the bottom half of the second innings. No score.
Boy, that was
a long way out of the catcher's box to grab hold of that one.
He did. That was a fast pitch. That was his fastball. It's good to know that Stringer can still move that fast. As I say, he's had an operation on his knee this year, and things didn't look very good, but he's back in there. Good pitch. Vitale was going for the fence.
That's a slow one. Herlihy would have pushed that through at around about, oh, I don't know, 40 or 50 miles an hour compared with his normal 80 or 90. Meanwhile, of course, we had Vitale having committed himself to the big swing.
Good part of the field is there.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
1 down, bottom of the second inning.
That's 12.
Ball outside. Only one out so far. On first base, we have safely Dennis Eckert in scoring position, albeit a long way from home plate.
Now, once again, what we're seeing is that the Yanks aren't moving the base runner as they did there yesterday. In fact, look at that, a strikeout. Now, that's 2 outs with a man still left on first base. That's surprising with a team as professional as this. That they, just watch, here's the strikeout. A great strikeout for New Zealand. Look at that pitch from Hurley. Oh, what a pitch. Oh, he kept it in back of his hip for the last moment. You see that, Gary?
Yep, hit the release right for the last moment. Makes it 2 out. Record strikeout number 4 for Herlihy, and A.V. Stubbington moves to the batter's box. He is the designated hitter. So, obviously not regarded as a fielder of any great ability, or certainly not enough to be in this ball game, but good enough with the bat to have a turn.
A power batter, though. He could knock it over that fence.
A bit late for the swing. Chops it for the foul ball.
1 strike on Stubbington. 1 second on first base. 2 down, bottom of the second inning.
Commentary position resembling something of a sauna bath.
No comment. A.V. Stubbington. I love that name, A.V. That is something our sport lacks, isn't it, Gary? Interesting names. Oh, good outs. I mean, in the other games, it's sort of Pally Wally and Ducky Lucky and Plucky Johnny and things like that. We don't have interesting names, do we, Charlie?
No Charlie Chatfields in this team.
But we got A.V. Stubbington who wants to hit the ball to the wall.
Come on now, good pitch here now. Haven't got it.
Count remains. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
At 12.
A.V.
Here he is.
The left-handed hitter, lucky for some.
In fact, I'd say that lion red thing on his back, it looks like there's a fair bit on the other side of him, too. He got him. Hurls is fire. Kevin Hurley still wants to be New Zealand's #1. There's no doubt about that. And they got beat twice yesterday without the big guns. And Herlihy's back in there to get New Zealand on top. Good pitching, Gary. Actually, I think he had replaced you, didn't he, as the hurler in the big smoke of softball?
Well, that winds the clock back a day or two, Marshall, to the days when...
Look at that.
Yeah. Yes, Herlihy came in 1965, I think it was, to the Wellington team. In 1966, he was away with his first New Zealand tour overseas. In fact, the first tour overseas New Zealand had made. And there he has been virtually ever since when he's been available. Well,
that's 18 years, isn't it? There aren't a lot of still at the top after 18 years.
Looking at the pitchers who were around in those days, there was the legendary Bill Massey, who was in the national side for a long time, and also another Southlander, and Garth Tattersfield. And they made up the pitching staff for New Zealand back in 1966. And here we have Hurley still around, and Bill Massey wound his arm over last week at a benefit game they had in the Hutt Valley for Arch Hall.
Oh, that's great.
Been around a long time. The new batter up for New Zealand, bottom of the order. Goodness knows why he's batting at #9, Michael Nichols.
Yeah, that surprises me.
One of the better batters that New Zealand has seen in recent years, and perhaps it's indicative of the batting strength of New Zealand that Nichols can bat at number 9.
Well, it's also that he's had a good look at Nichols, who batted well the other day. There's a reasonable bunt, forcing the play. It's only a half a step away, and that's great to see a number 9 batter of that size lay down a good bunt. That was a good attempt at getting on, which is the job of the first run. Now let's just watch here. Didn't expose he was gonna bunt. Laid a good one down 3. Out of the box well. Look at that.
Did everything right. And furthermore, Marshall puts the pressure on the Can-Am side.
Yes. No, that was good play, especially with that infield.
Top of the order, Jeff Strom, the man who collected the hit for New Zealand as the first batter of this game a couple of innings back. How will he fare this time?
Well, there's a player who really wants to go to the World Series.
Ball 1.
Ball.
Well, they're moving the ball around, aren't they? There's no sort of consistent going down the pipe here. Both pitchers are using a lot of drops, a lot of inside, outside.
Ball! All off, okay.
Now, that was quite good. That's doing what the Americans do extremely well.
A 3 ball.
He'd gone after that bunt from the back of the box, so he had speed underway at the time he would have made contact. Then he left it low. Watch this. See him moving up the box, saw it was low, held back. Good softball. This, with the exception of Paul Rogers, we never saw things like that a few years ago, Ken.
There it is, won himself a walk.
He's doing his job. Exciting young softballer. But isn't that a fact, Gary, that we never saw that sort of movement on a bunt in New Zealand, with the exception of Paul Rogers?
Yeah, he could certainly do it well, but a few others could back in those days. The first walk of the game having been issued, and New Zealand with a runner in scoring position, and that's Eddie Kalassi. It's a bat. Wow, almost a mix-up in the outfield, eventually taking the catch as Randy Burnside. Makes it 2 outs. Jeff Strom unable to advance off first base, and Jimmy Cotter, the designated hitter, moves in towards the batter's box. There it is again, and you could see the shortstop for the Can-Am side, Chad Corcoran, moving back, but the loud call that overcalled him to take the catch came from Randy Burnside, Jimmy Cotter.
Good cut. What about a stolen base here, right?
Well, Strom's got the legs to do it.
He does, and it means we sort of lead off with Cotter.
Fast pitch there, a fast pitch from Scheller. Just out of the strike zone, well read by Jimmy Cotter. Ball 1, strike 1.
I'd like to see Strom go. Nice to see a stolen base, just to shake it up a bit. There's a bit of a puddle out there, too. Here's an easy out. Now, I think at this level, you got to take a few more chances, and there's a lot of mud out at 2.
Okay, well, having a look as we go in between innings, the bottom half of the third innings coming up. Let's have a talk with Graham Thorne talking to Michael White.
Michael, what's your impressions of the game so far?
Well, at the moment, we're moving the ball a lot better than what they are. Scheller seems to be losing a bit of control. We've seen him before over here, so we're moving the ball much better than that.
Kevin Herlihy pitching well for New Zealand. He seems to be going for that outside pitch. Would you be doing the same thing?
No, I tend to try and cramp hitters a lot more, throw the high inside, pitch when he throws outside. Just have power with it.
But he seems to be pitching well after yesterday when the pitching didn't seem to be that well.
He's pitching very well. You know, yesterday we didn't really know too many of their batters, and we sort of learned something from it. So we're pitching around them today a bit better.
Thanks very much, Michael White.
Thanks, Graham.
Bottom of the third innings about to get underway, and the new batter in for the Can-Am side will be Randy Burnside against the somewhat ferocious pitching of Kevin Herlihy at the moment, because he's in top form, Marshall.
Well, yeah, I think he's going well. I don't think he's quite got the speed that he did a few years ago, but he's still certainly one of the world's top, I'd say 3. I'd say he's definitely in the top 3 in the world at the moment. The older you get, as you know, Gary, the craftier you become.
Yes, we haven't reached that stage yet. Randy Burnside.
Ball.
Ball one.
Maybe you'll skip that and go straight into senility.
Randy Burnside batting at number 8, plays at left outfield.
And batting
Bowler.
500, Gary.
Yep.
Strike.
First turn in the batter's box in this game.
Burnside got a 3-base hit up against the fence
Ball out there.
in Counties there yesterday. Very strong batter. A lot of power in his swing.
Ball 2, strike 1. No score as we enter the bottom half of the third innings. Kevin Francis Hill.
Bravo.
Actually, here's something of interest, Gary, and that Can-Am All-Stars, it's very rare that you would see a Can-Am All-Stars. Canada and America are not unlike New Zealand and Australia, so to see an Aussie-New Zealand All-Star team in a sport would be unusual.
Yes, they had some difficulty in putting the team together. They had their representatives in America. Talking of the New Zealand Softball Association, which
Ball up
pitched
there.
up inside.
Oh, that was a strike!
Ball 3, strike 2. Looked to be pretty close in the strike zone.
Well, I don't think you can look. That's not a happy look at Hurley. He's just a bit of subtlety out there, isn't it? Oh, that was definitely. Chopped it down. Herlihy over to Nichols. I think it was a good cut, but he just got under it with the drop. Watch this. The ball drops just as he swings, so he banged it down on the turf. Still got his bat on it. Good out of one. Little scoop there.
Okay, that makes the first out of the innings, and Bruce Beard, the new batter, in.
Once again, a good batter from the games yesterday. Also had a hit up against the fence, had a 3-base hit. Scoring a runner.
Strike.
Good pitch. Now that was a low riser. It sort of hugged the dirt on its way through and climbed up through the strike zone to become a strike.
Strike.
Good pitch. Ball 1. Had him leading.
Strike 2, 1 out. Ball 1.
Strike out. Oh, he's got him. Throw down to 1. Now, what happens there on the strikeout? If the ball is dropped, then there has to be a play at first base. So even though it's an official strikeout, the ball, if it's dropped, the player can still be safe at 1. In fact, we saw in the game there yesterday, an American was safe on 1 with a ball that got. Watch this. Now the ball just once again, it pops out of Stringer's glove. It seems to be when he goes backhand on it, Gary, his glove isn't open.
Yeah, gets it over to first with stacks of time to spare, but Stringer will be cursing himself just a little.
Here's a big hit, going, it is gone over the right field fence for a great big hit. That's not Rothrock, is it? We didn't even catch that. Well, there he is, as we said at the start, one of the best batters we will ever see in this country, a former professional baseball player in the States. Rothrock, he would have hit that, what, about 250?
Well, it seemed to be still climbing when it went over the fence, which it obviously couldn't have done. But let's look at the swing. Woof! Out it goes. The camera chases it. So do the outfielders. And look how far that is over the fence. That was, what, 15 or 20 feet past the fence.
Out in the
What a
Scotchman's
hit.
grandstand. It caused a bit of spoiled the picnic out there. There he is, Brian Rothrock. Well, now Herlihy won't be happy about that. As we say in games like this, or I said anyway, it's usually 1-0. Gary was expecting a high score. He might still be right. I mean, it would be nice for a change.
Jimmy Hall across to Mike Nichols, ends the innings. And what did it take? 10 seconds for it all to happen, and suddenly we've got a 1-0 ball game and New Zealand biting the bullet.
Well, we were on top. We were on top. We were the squad which had got the runners on, especially early in the innings, and suddenly with one swing of the bat, it's 1-0, and that'll be hard to get back against these fellas.
Yes, it will be, especially with the pitching of Rob Scheller, who looks to be keeping New Zealand out, because while he has allowed 3 runners on the bases, he's still kept the pressure on them all the time, and when runners get on bases, that's about as far as they get, with not letting them advance too far at all. So, well done from Rothrock, and
yeah, there he is. Now, he played AAA baseball in the States, which is just 1/4 of a step away from being in the what they call the major leagues over there. So actually, it just gives you an idea, Gary. This is a failure, right? This is a man who couldn't quite make major league baseball, but he is such an outstanding. There are so many millions of young men who attempt to become professional baseball players. Well, let's say thousands anyway. And there is one of the best batters we've ever seen, and we just saw a very fine hit by him, Brian Rothrock.
the new batter in for New Zealand is Ian Stringer, with the Kiwis trailing by 1 run to 0.
Ball up there.
Ball. Can this man come up with the same answer for New Zealand and clip one over the fence?
Well, he could, only the man on the mound has seen a lot of Stringer this year in Auckland, and I don't think he'll give him anything big to hit, as we saw there with that drop. I'll be surprised if Scheller here throws Stringer a high outside pitch, Gary. That would really surprise me, but make no bones about it, if he did, that's a short fence for Stringer. Have a look at the power in that swing. Big shoulders. Big man.
Well, it wouldn't be strange territory for him, Marshall. He was the first person ever to put one out of this Narana ballpark.
Was
so
it?
That's it, yeah.
Ball. 22. Come on, no further now, still.
Ian Stringer.
Ball, the top.
Ball again. Strings having a good look at these for ball 3, strike 2. He's not going to be swinging at anything that's too rubbishy, and the pressure goes on him now with ball 3, strike 2 to call. Cat and mouse gets underway. Stringer wanting to clean the mud out of his cleats so that he gets better footing here. Scheller.
Good hit. Boy, that was a crack of the bat. That was a good hit. Good, sharp slap of the ball. Well done, Ian Stringer. He was one of the few players to have a good game yesterday as well. Stringer and Cotter are ready. All he needs another 7. Look at that smash. That's power batting.
There is safe on first. Up to bat is Darryl Stratford, as the scheduled batter to come in.
Oh, well, he should bat. He got a hit first time up. He'll be in there.
He's had one so far in this game.
But what do we want here, Gary? Do we want a bunt or a hit?
Well, with the bunting ability of this New Zealand team, I might even be tempted to hit Stratford.
Nah, this kid's really fast. I think he's a South Islander. He'll be able to bunt.
Strike!
Whoa.
Was there.
Strike 1. Down low.
And outside. Well, it's all on here. New Zealand has to get that one back.
Runner on first for New Zealand. Ian Stringer. Darryl Stratford from Nelson in the batter's box. The man who last time up carved the hit out to left field. Wanting to do it again, desperate.
Oh, gee, well, he's leaving those because he's sure they're a ball, and the umpire's calling strike. So there seems to be a great discrepancy in Stratford's theory on where the ball is and the umpire's. But Stratford should know that the last word is the umpire's. Now, once again, if we can't move our runner down to second base, it's bad softball.
Oh!
Took a lot of nerve to leave that one after the other ones went far off.
Ball 2, strike 2. A lot of pressure on Stratford.
He's got to hit the ball on the ground now. He's got to get Stringer down to 2. I'd probably even have a runner on this one, I think.
Ball 3, strike 2.
Scheller's keeping the pressure on himself now. Rob Scheller, remember he's young. He's very, very good, but he's only 20. Big arm.
Let's go.
Ball 3, strike 2. One runner on base for New Zealand, Ian Stringer. No outs.
Oh, no!
Oh, yes.
Well,
That was a low strike. I'd go along with umpire Mulholland.
not a way in the world
Have a look,
was
have a
that
look.
Gary Ward. My Godfrey, look at that.
Look where the catcher gathers
Oh,
it.
well. Oh, well. Yes, maybe.
Strikeout number 4, recorded for Rob Scheller against Darryl Stratford. Jimmy Hall, the new batter, moves to the batter's box. 1 out, with still Stringer on first. And there's Jimmy Hall, last time up to bat, was taken out in the infield with a sacrifice bunt. Does not count as a turn at bat. His average remains intact at zilch. Strike 1.
Well, let's spell it out now. This is the 3rd game against the Can-Am All-Stars, and New Zealand are scoreless. And we've had the chances. Now, there's no way that Stringer should not be down at 2, especially with a power batter like Hall up there. But I don't see why there isn't a runner on for Stringer at the moment. So easy to use a runner nowadays.
There's the steal.
Oh! That was a hit-and-run play, I'd say, called then. It was Hall. Now, just explain about that call. What it means is that Stringer's going to go on the steal, and it's Hall's job to hit the ball. Now, as you saw, the ball was Now, watch the ball. He's got to hit it, and look at where he throws it. Over his head. Hall somehow or other gets up because he's got to do his job, or Stringer would have been cold at second base. He's not that fast. That was a good hit by Jimmy Hall.
Yeah, it was well out of the strike zone. He managed to climb up to get bat to ball, and before the ball was halfway down the on its journey between pitcher and batter, there we saw Stringer zooming off towards the safety of second.
I'd say what happened there is that Vitale, the catcher, had caught the signal and knew that it was going to be a hit and run, told him to throw the ball high and outside, and there would be an easy out at second base. I think he caught our signals.
Well, full credit to Jimmy Hall for getting up to get bat to ball on that one. Ray Marsh, the new batter in. Last time up was taken in the infield.
He is overdue, Gary. Good batter, good power batter. He's overdue.
Oh!
Ooh,
Run
that was
outside.
a dicey check swing.
Just checked it at the very last moment. Ball 1.
Good hit, good hit, good hit. Here comes Stringer. Here comes the ball. He'll get Stringer cold. No, they won't. Stringer is safe and home. I still don't know why there wasn't a runner. Poor old Strings having to do it on his own bicycle, but that's 1-all. Let's hold the crowd.
Look at this. Hit, and here it comes off the bat of Ray Marsh. Slots it along centre field into the dirt. Look at Stringer scamper.
It was a bad throw. It was a bad throw from the outfield. You don't see Americans, especially Rothrock, throw as badly as that.
There's the man with the arm, and there's the man who did the damage with the bat, and Ray Marsh hitting to centre field. Strike. Going back to the running of Stringer, you said before, Marshall, and quite accurately, that he's not the fastest runner in the ballpark, but when he rounded 3, and we'll try and have another look at that, we'll point out what made him get from second to home so quickly.
Aye.
Straight 2.
Well, here's Campbell. Now, Campbell is like Marsh. He's overdue. Very powerful batter. That fence is a pretty short one to Campbell, but there's an out at 1 just with the scoop shot. But New Zealand, we've got a brand new ball game on the back of Ray Marsh and Ian Stringer. Well done. They finally cracked it. Remember, this was the 3rd straight game they've gone scoreless.
Now, going back to what happened before, Marshall, as I said, your comment that Stringer is not a quick runner is so right. However, when he left second base, he angled out and towards left field. When he rounded 3rd, he hit the very inside of the base, so therefore he cut down the distance that he had to run to get from halfway along between 2nd and 3rd and home, and that's why he was in so quickly.
Okay, let's have a look here, Gary. Now, watch, this is a good hit. Cracked right up the middle.
Well played.
Through the hole, as we say. Now, here comes Stringer, as you
Watch
say.
the inside. It's
Good.
the very inside of the base.
Very professional.
And look, he didn't have to arc out a long
Outside.
way.
Yes, lovely. Year-round softballer, Stringer. He plays here in our summer, and then he plays tomorrow. There's Ray Marsh, who is on the verge of this New Zealand squad. His name is certainly not underlined as far as the World Series is concerned, but he batted under pressure here, and it certainly hasn't hurt his chances.
The man who scored the run to tie it all up, Strings, who at one stage played in the Hutt Valley and has moved back to Auckland now and has been quite a force on the local scene. He was
Captain on the first Auckland side since 1432 to win the national championship.
They lasted. The time that they won it before was, I think, in 1960 in Rotorua. So, well, Strings, he did the job for Auckland and doing it just as well for New Zealand here at the moment. First batter up for the Can-Am side is Micky Ruscoe.
Come on, Kevin, come on, Ip.
No hits from one turn back.
Yeah, hey, I'll tell you what, Gary, Hurley's going to be hard to hit now, isn't he? I mean, the young guys have given him a run. He's going to be hard to hit. I don't think you stand a chance, Ruscoe. I think you're history, mate.
Back-to-back hits for New Zealand scored the run. Just the one hit from the Americans off the bat of Brian Rothrock. And so we have a 1-all ball game.
Double.
Fouls it off.
Didn't know much about that one. Mickey, me lad, it's K time.
Ruscoe. Wears the number 5 shirt. Plays at second base.
I hate to tell you, Mickey, but...
Well, as clairvoyant Seifert said, a strikeout coming up, and that's how it happened.
This is embarrassing. Look at this. Right down the middle, but what a drop.
Strikeout number 7 recorded for Kevin Herlihy. McFadden is the batter. Last time up to bat, Fadden collected a hit which scorched out to centre outfield. Now we see him against Hurley with 1 out in the bottom half of the 4th innings, 1-all.
Oh.
Whoa, what a pitch. What a pitch.
That low riser had almost travelled in an arc to get to it. Sort of went downhill and then climbed up again.
Hurley is firing.
Wow, that's shallow. Ray Marsh takes the catch. 2 out. In the bottom half of the 4th innings, New Zealand already having had their 4th turn at bat. Dennis Eckert will be the new batter up. Let's have a look at that second pitch again and just see.
Oh, this is a good one.
Look how low it goes.
Zing! 90 miles an hour, and just never changes. Right outside corner again. They're really going for that outside corner.
Nice pitching from Kevin Hurley. Or as the Americans call him, Kevin Hurley. Strike one.
I think we're going to get another strikeout, Gary. I just feel it.
Strike two. Dennis Eckert, the right outfielder for this side with a very back to the pitcher stance.
Ball!
Ball.
12.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Kevin Hurley, he has taken 7 strikeouts, given up 2 hits.
And once again, the ball had bounced out of Stringer's glove. I think we are saying that Stringer just hasn't been catching much in the last year. There's a foul ball down the left field line. Not that far foul either.
Well, being a left-hander, we had out there in left outfield for New Zealand, Darryl Stratford fading towards centre field because that's the natural hit for the left-hander. Yes. So he had a fair bit of ground to cover to get round into foul territory, and it was therefore falling into safe ground, if you like, for this Dennis Eckert. Ball one, strike two.
Still think he'll K him, Gary.
Here you go.
Struck out. Strikeout number 8 for Kevin Herlihy. I can remember seeing you not strike out against Herlihy. One of the few times you didn't. Marshall, what happened to you?
What's that?
I remember you not striking out against Herlihy once when you were scampering around the bases.
Oh, well, the only way to score off Herlihy, here's this, look at this. Oh, great pitching. Yeah, I scored off him once, but it was the hard way. I got a walk, which was dubious, and then it was obvious that no one else was going to hit him, so I stole second, third, and I stole home off your brother at 3. Smashed into Pretty at home. I still ache from it. One of the meanest players to ever wear New Zealand. That was the only way you could score off early. It was to walk and steal every base.
If my memory brings it back, you still didn't win the game.
That wasn't my fault. I got him walk. Did you ever bang into Pretty at home?
Yep.
It's like hitting a wall.
The new batter will be Michael Nichols. Playing at first base, a position that is not all that familiar to Michael Nichols. Normally plays in the outfield for New Zealand. I can see a tiebreaker coming up here, Marshall.
That would be exciting. Although I still think that infield has some problems. I can still see an error and someone scrambling around. Also, we've never had so many power batters, have we? Because now both teams have got it. We've got 4 of those 9 guys who could hit it over that fence, and they have about the same number.
Here's one of them, Michael Nichols.
Yep, they're batting 9th. I love it. Yes, I've always said that this was the young man who was going to win the final of the World Series.
Strike.
Strike one.
Ball.
Look at how relaxed he looks. We saw there early on in the game that he can bunt, he can move out of the box, but have a look at this stance.
Ball one,
very
strike
relaxed.
one.
In fact, his stance is not unlike that of Rothrock. They both look very confident in the box.
He often looks as though he's stifling a yawn in the batter's box.
Yes, he's so relaxed, isn't he? But great power, great acceleration. Ooh, there's a cut. Hey, he's on, he's on! You won't get him. Look, Nichols was well down the path. He's getting out of that box, isn't he?
Well, let's have a look at it again, because Nichols slapped it off the bottom of the bat. At third base, unable to glove the ball properly, was Gordie McFadden. Look at that pickup from Corcoran. Almost nabbed him at first, but not quite.
But see that infield again. That's what these guys have to contest. It's a raffle out there if the ball's on the deck. It really is a rolling pitch. There's no way an Englishman would get within 100 yards of this one, I tell you.
Jeff Strong.
Let's go.
I would have recorded that as an error, but I guess some would say a hit because it came off the batters.
He cracked it. Oh, it's got to be an error. It's got to be an error. If you get your glove on it, it's got to stick. Now, let's see if they can move it. No, that's a double play. Oh, wow. Gee, that was a great... Oh, Corcoran is unhappy, and I don't blame him. I think it's marginal. But there's Strom down to one. He did his job. He moved it, but I thought a bit heavy. It was not a good sacrifice. Watch this. He hit it too hard. Now, he should have been out at 2. Look at this throw. Watch it. No, I think he's safe.
Yeah.
Great slide from Nichols. He's doing everything.
Now, look, there's Ray Lasua calling him safe. I certainly would have said he was out, but Ray Lasua, Johnny on the spot, says, no, you're safe.
I think he's right.
They both arrived at the same time. Under those circumstances, the runner gets the benefit of it.
Well, this
Runners
is
on first and second.
This is exciting. Now, that's softball. You've got to move that runner down. Now, look at us. First and second and none down. Everything that hasn't happened in the last 2 days. Who's up?
Dark!
Eddie Kalassi, strike one.
Kalassi with the home crowd here, eh? Well, look at this. For concentration, you got to go a long way to beat this young man. And he's very fast. But now it's his job to sacrifice. Oh, come on, Eddie. Now that's 3 times he's missed the bunt.
Eddie Kalassi, the batter, your hobby horse, Marshall, is batters not putting bunts down.
This kid is just so good, and I don't like to see a chink in his armor. It's his job to put them, he knows it. He's a dedicated young sportsman in both softball and rugby.
There he goes.
Well, Struth, he said, Struth. I was told early in the game you can't say bloody, so I'm saying Struth.
Or words to that effect.
Shit,
One out.
How annoying for Kevin Herlihy and Mike Walsh and us, everybody. First and second, none down, and we don't move them.
Jimmy Cotter, the designated hitter. There is only 1 out. Runners on first and second. Bottom half of the 5th innings. Top half, I'm sorry, of the 5th innings.
Well, here's the man, my superstar, Jimmy Cotter. Batted really well yesterday. Oh, good cut. He wasn't far off that. He knows it.
Pretty good pitch.
Well. We got to get a runner in here, Gary. This is our best chance. I don't know. I could even see a bunt. He's a good bunter. Well, Cotter going for it. Gee, that's sad.
Second out.
Time out.
Here you see it again. There's the swinging bat of Cotter. Strikes him out. 2 outs. And the new batter in will be Ian Stringer.
Well, let's be fair about it. I mean, I'm really hard on New Zealand because I want us to win a World Series. But you see, with these very powerful American side, they're doing the same against good pitching. So fair's fair, but we must keep our expectations really high if we're going to win that World Series.
A mini conference just took place a little while ago. There you see the players returning to their positions. What are they going to do with Stringer?
They're going to walk in.
I reckon so.
Yep.
They cannot afford to give away 3 runs, and that's what would be the end result if Strings pops one over the fence. And let's see just what they do. Will they walk him? No, I don't think so.
They won't give him anything to hit. They know that Stratford's on deck, and he got a real good hit early on in the game. They won't give him anything to hit. But he's dangerous going hard. Yeah, that's better.
Ball 1, strike 1.
Well, I think that's... I would have walked him. I think they're gambling, and I'd like to see him get burnt. No, wouldn't under.
Now, this is what Stringer did last time round. Stepped out of the batter's box, said, I'm not ready yet. Manoeuvred back into position and slapped one to the outfield. How will he go? Oh, Stringer says, oh, come on.
But I've been wrong in every other call when it came to a replay, so I'm not going to say much. Oh, no.
I've got to go along with Stringer.
That one was a bit right. And a bad time. That was sad because it might just put Strings. It means that when you're on 2 strikes, you can't quite go for it as much. Ooh, now that one I thought was. They're
That's
going
a little
everywhere.
high.
Well, I didn't think so. Well, Holland, I think he's guessing at the moment. But it'd be great to see Strings get into one.
Scheller, ready to pitch to Ian Stringer.
Oh, yeah! He hit it! He hit it, but he'll be out at home. He's coming home anyway. He is safe! Safe! Well, that's real exciting. Ian Stringer bringing home the bacon. It's 3 or 4 guys that are ready for this World Series tomorrow. Good hit. Pressure hit with 2 strikes on him. Watch this. Here we go. Watch the power of this swing. Smash! Who is Lance Cairns anyway, eh? And look at this. Coming home. I thought he was dead.
Well, he should have been. Yep. See, had the throw been on the button, he was a gone cookie.
Yeah.
But look at that. In he comes.
Yes, great slide.
And very good running, because here we have the guy with the legs, and that's Mike Nichols. He runs. He's those long legs of him.
You know what?
Carry him around.
You know what they're doing wrong? They're bouncing the ball from the outfield. And they forget how bad that pitch is out there. They're all strong enough to do it in the full. Hey, there's more ducks on the pond here with Stratford up. This could be good. No, popped
like
up.
that.
He'll be gone. Vitale under it. That's it. But a new ball game, Gary Ward. New Zealand 2, Can-Am 1. How'd you like to have to face Herlihy now, eh?
Well, this is an area that New Zealand should not lose from now. Here, the Can-Am side has 3 turns at bat left. There you see the scoreline. Can-Am 1, New Zealand 2. Remembering that the Can-Am side bats second. And there's the replay now. Just watch Michael Nichols. He scampers for third. Walsh says he points home. Off you go, Michael, my boy.
You see
And
the
there-
throw?
yep,
Watch it
it's-
off the pitch. Cuts inside. Great slide. Now, look at
That is
that
a good slide. And really,
Look
it
at
should be
that.
said that there was no chance for Rocky Vitale to put the tag on
No.
Nichols.
Boy, what a great slide. That's real
Well
action
done.
stuff.
2 runs to 1. New Zealand hit the front. The new batter up is the guy who just missed the tag at home. Not his fault at all, though. Rocky Vitale moves into the batter's box.
As I say, I think that both Americans with those throws from the outfield could have easily made home plate on the full. But they're so used to good, slick diamonds where the ball won't deviate at all. And I think it's just something that Butch Bat had not said.
And the other thing is, Marshall, that with the ball thrown from the outfield on a close play like that, given normal
Well,
circumstances,
you always go for the bounce.
it
Yep.
picks up speed once it hits the dirt. On this one, because it's like Farmer Jones' ploughed field, the pace comes off the ball.
Yep.
2-1. Rocky Vitale will be the new batter in, trailing the New Zealanders by 2 runs to 1. And conditions here at Narana Park could not be better. There's a breeze blowing into the face of the pitcher. The crowd enjoying every moment of it now that the Kiwis have hit the lead.
Oh, aren't they more relaxed? And Pukekohe there yesterday, you could have cut the atmosphere with a knife. People had come to see us win, and we didn't score.
A lull in the play as they have some trouble with the ball. Umpire Mulholland. There you see him walking back with the ball right towards the back of the action, saying this ball is not standard. Can you give me another one? And Herlihy, number 19, takes his warm-up deliveries.
Incidentally, when a ball is replaced, it's a new ball. Unlike cricket, where you age the thing accordingly, it's a new ball. Incidentally, they got a new softball sort of theory, Gary, that you put your most powerful batter up first, and if you toss the coin, you say, we want to bat first. So that you got your home run hitter batting first with the new ball, which is always a bit sort of slippery, isn't it? Plus all of the pressure of throwing it down against their best batter.
That's
Interesting.
the new theory?
New theory. What do you think?
Yeah, I always like batting last.
You were always the big batter, were you? Now, I see what you're speaking about. Well, also, it means that if it's a tiebreaker, you get to score first, which is also like.
Well, the chief umpire for New Zealand, Charlie Phillips, there you see him asking whether or not the replacement ball is a necessity or whether or not they should play with the old one, but umpire Phillips
Well, I think there's
fondling that ball.
I think there's a lot of stuffing around here.
I must say that umpire Phillips himself has represented New Zealand.
Oh, good player.
Travelled to Mexico City in 1966. No, like that, yeah, 1966 he went with the New Zealand team.
A good steady ball player, and he made the New Zealand team playing out of where?
Wanganui.
Wanganui. The heavy breathers wouldn't have liked that, Gary.
Ready for the action again. Rocky Vitale is the new batter, facing a rampant Kevin Herlihy.
That was a shame. I bet Butch Bat had complained about that ball just to slow Kevin down a bit, or just to keep him out there in the sun a little longer, because he's going to be dynamite.
Yeah.
Ball one.
Now, Kevin is going to want to strike out first batter up. This is where he really works.
He struck him out last time round.
Big hit, big hit.
Big enough.
Back to the fence. He's up. Caught the ball. Well done, Darryl Stratford. Shortstop playing left field. Very calm and cool, wasn't he?
Yeah, he took a glance over his shoulder to see if he was getting close to the fence, and there we see him, Darryl Stratford. Now there's Vitale's hit, getting right under it. It drifts back and back and back, and there's Stratford. There he takes the glance over his shoulder. I'm okay, he says, snares the ball, one down.
Well, but that was a loose pitch from Kevin Hurley. I didn't like the look of that at all. Either did Kevin, I'd say.
A.V. Stubbington up to bat.
Watch, here, come here. Guy.
Whoa, they're going for the fence now. They want to tie it up with one swing. What a cut from Stubbington. Here we go. Herlihy versus Stubbington. Oh, he complete. Look at Stubbington. He's about halfway down the pitch. The ball was over his head. He was going for the fence.
Stubbington, the designated hitter in this game, batting for Rob Scheller.
He struck him out. Now that, he really had Stubbington. Stubbington went in there to do one thing, and that was to hit the ball over the fence. That second strike was truly absurd. Watch this second strike. Now, Stubbington had decided he was going to hit a home run, and Herlihy threw it over it. No, that was the final strike. That was the final strike. But with the second strike, then, the ball was clearly over his head, but Stubbington had decided he was going to even the game up. Okay, Randy Burnside is in now. Another big batter. Got a three-base hit yesterday.
That's out to right field and a safe hit.
No, I think it was an error. I think it had gone off the...
Went through the gap.
No, was it in the gap?
Runner on one out. The new batter in will be Randy Burnside. There it is again. A.V. Stubbington. Let's see, what happened to Stubbington?
He struck out. He was history.
That was the one we saw on replay. I'm sorry. Randy Burnside is safe on first base.
But Kevin is spraying them around at the moment, and all these guys can hit. This is Bruce Beard.
That's the innings over.
Well, Hurley will be happy about that. A couple of loose pitches. This game isn't over yet, Gary.
Nope. 2 turns of bat left, and Kevin Herlihy is still having some troubles. Having a talk to Charlie Phillips, the chief umpire for New Zealand. Charlie, a little bit of mucking around out there with the ball. What was the story? Okay, so do you have to age the ball once you get to that stage?
I have one that's brand new.
Okay, Charlie Phillips saying that the ball has to be aged just a little, not brand new, but nevertheless the shine taken off it for just a moment, and that's what the delay was for just a little while ago.
Taking 5 strikeouts while allowing 2 runs. Leading off for New Zealand in their 6th at bat, shortstop Jimmy Hall. On deck, right fielder Herlihy.
Here we go into the top half of the 6th innings. New Zealand with their second last turn at bat in terms of regulation innings, and the new batter in will be Jimmy Hall. Jimmy Hall battling to find a place in the New Zealand team with so much talent around. Certainly he's able to hit the ball hard and often, as we have seen from him so often in the Canterbury uniform. Rob Scheller.
Strike.
Strike one. Way up. Ball one, strike one.
Come on, buddy! Stay, check your heart, come on now! Come on, Jimmy! Left all the rules, boy! Let's go, Jimmy, boy!
Strike.
Going for the big one.
Well, Hall has hit a few home runs with the New Zealand third on his.
Oh,
Oh, that hurt. Vitale caught that, and he must be a hard man. That hurts.
Got 12.
Scheller, of course, having played for Auckland against Canterbury, having been in the Auckland Colts team. So Paul will be familiar with Scheller's pitching. Ball.
22.
Ball two, strike two.
Big cut. Scheller got him with a nice drop ball. Strikeout. That's not what you want out of your leadoff batter.
Strikeout number 6, and let's watch it again because Hall really was going for the big one. There's the dropper, dropped under the swinging bat of Jimmy Hall. There's Rob Scheller, the Can-Am pitcher.
And
moves in.
into bat now is the young man who hit home the run, which opened this game up, which had got us back into the game. Ray Marsh, Canterbury outfielder. See if he can do it again. Good swing, foul back though. Good flat cut though. Our batting just looks so much better every year, doesn't it, Gary? So much, there's more consistency in it.
Yep, and surely it needed it because that was the bad part of New Zealand softball. It was dominated too much by the pitchers, and those days have gone just a little.
But we still got to learn to bunt.
Time.
Good job stepping out then. Good job.
What happens is the pitcher waits and waits and waits while the likes of Ray Marsh positions himself, and then when he sees that the batter is starting to lose just a little bit of his stance and concentration, that's when he throws the ball. But Marsh was up to that and stepped out of the batter's box. Easy out. Makes it 2 down. Jamie Campbell will be the new batter from the Souffla. Having a look at it again, bounces back to Scheller, over to first and out by some 6 or 7 paces, I guess.
Now, actually, this is interesting. Campbell really does need a hit at the moment. His place is not secure in that New Zealand side. He's played very well over the last few years, but this year things just haven't gone all that well for Jamie, and he could use a hit, especially a big one, to show he's a power batter. It's a high fly ball, but it's out to right center field. Hauls it in. Well, that was the big hit, but it went straight up. Retires the side. Well, here's this swing from Campbell. Very strong batter, but just got under this one. Big cut, but just got under. Goes a mile high and down to right center field to retire the side. So it's back to Herlihy. How many strikeouts is he going to get this inning, Gary?
Well, he's got 8 racked up against him so far. That's 8 strikeouts, and he's given up only 2 hits in the game. Whereas we look at the statistics of Rob Scheller, he has taken 6 strikeouts, has given up 5 hits, and I guess that tells the tale of the game.
Yes, although this is the danger time as far as New Zealand is concerned, because it's the top of the order for the Can-Am All-Stars. It starts off with Rothrock, who has already knocked the ball over the fence once. So this is the hard inning. If Herlihy can get through this innings, then I think it's New Zealand's ball game. But this is where New Zealand has to work. Top of the order.
Well, just giving me an update on the strikeouts is Anne Hayward. Anne tells me that there have been 9 strikeouts recorded by Herlihy. So having taken 9 strikeouts, where his opposite has taken only 6, that really does mean that with the hitting action, and Marshall, remember we said before the game started that there'll be a few hits sailing out, and they have. New Zealand have collected 5 of them, and they deserve to be ahead.
Yep, that's good. So far, it's been an excellent game of softball. But this is going to be hard work for Kevin Herlihy. These are 3 very good world-class batters.
Dijack.
Nice pitch.
And here, of course, is the man who did it all back in the 3rd innings with that big clunk over the right field fence, Brian Rothrock.
Oh, that's not a deep fence for Rothrock.
Dijack.
Caught him. Tried to check his swing.
Also, Herlihy had it right up against his chest.
He
so
jammed him.
Yep, jammed him, as they say. Had he hit the ball, it would have come off the tape, and there wouldn't have been much strength behind the...
Now he'll go for all the corners now. He's 2 strikes up. He'll just go for the corners. Here's one. See if he could tempt him to swing at an outside drop. 1 more to waste. Is that right, Gary? 1 more ball to waste.
Yep, 2 and 2's enough. You don't want to go to 3 balls and 2 strikes, otherwise the pitcher gets in a hole.
High, good rise ball. Caught him fishing. Good strikeout for Rothrock. I mean, there is one of the most complete batters we'll ever see here. Vital stage of the game. K to Mr. Hurley.
Racks up number 10, strikeout for him with this pitch, and let's have a look at it again, because it was a fine rising delivery. Up it climbs through the strike zone.
Look at that rise.
With a swinging bat has not a bolters.
All right. Great rise ball.
Chad Corcoran.
Oh, look at him, the way he races up that box.
He's a hustler, Marshall.
Ooh, I love him. As they say in real sort of Yankeeism, Corcoran has the wheels. I've never seen a faster player in this country, although Colassi, the New Zealand player, is just about as quick, but he hasn't learned the tricks yet. An affable character, Chad Corcoran, playing in the Hutt Valley.
Good burn.
Great, you won't get him. You won't get him. That's fantastic. That's what we mean. He's out of that box so quick. In fact, for all you young guys at home, especially if you get this on a cassette, just watch this. Look at that. Up to the box.
Now, Stringer does everything to get it.
Oh, yeah, look at Stringer. Geez, ducking and diving around like a pony, isn't he?
Yeah. But by the time he picked it up, he could see that Corcoran had gained the safety of first base, so didn't run the risk of a throw.
That's professional. Yep.
Herlihy has now given up 3 hits, has taken 10 strikeouts, and with 1 out, we have Chad Corcoran with the safety of first base. Now, Micky Ruscoe, the new batter in.
Corcoran's going to steal. I'll guarantee it.
Yeah.
Corcoran's going to 2, folks. They've got to get that run, but look at him rocking at 1 now. Okay. A little lead off. It'll either be the hit and run or the steal for Corcoran. There's no way that Butch Bat is going to let him die on 1. They need him down at second base in what we call scoring position. And when he goes quick. Now foul bunt. Look at Corcoran doing little steppy toes down at 2. Here he is with his size 9 wheels. Chad Corcoran. Chewing tobacco. Here it goes.
That it is.
It's all action here, and all the softballers know it. There's a real hush around the ground. It's real pro time now, but I still think Corcoran's will be going to 2. Nope. Oh, no, that's trouble. Double it. Good out then by Hall. Did you see that? The ball had gone off Kevin's glove, and Hall played it cool. In fact, I would have just made sure of the 1 out at 2. I wouldn't have given a flick tag. I would have dove, just crunched him. Let's see if we can get the... Now, watch this. The ball hits Kevin's glove, right? Hits his glove, goes off the glove. Hall, with great presence of mind here, scoops it up. Not only does he tag him, but he looks for the double play. I would have been happy with just the one.
Yeah, good play from Jimmy Hall. Well done. The new batter in is Gordon McFadden, with a runner still on first base, with them missing the second of the attempted double play. 2 outs. Bottom half of the 6th innings. Gordie McFadden, the batter. Oh, good pitch from Herlihy. Another delivery that started off low, climbed up through the strike zone. Strike. 2 outs. 4 outs away from winning this game is New Zealand, enjoying a 2-1 lead. Strike 2.
At 12.
Herlihy ready to throw to McFadden with 2 outs. Bottom half of the 6th.
Whoa!
Whoa, there's the steal. Safe. Good running there from Micky Ruscoe to get to second base, and really no opportunity of taking the out for the New Zealand team, because we saw Ruscoe on the sprint. There he goes. There's the big throw from Stringer, and about half a second too late. Now he's in scoring position. We have the prospect of,
Here we go.
Gordie McFadden tying things up, because one safe hit would score Ruscoe, who does move very rapidly around the bases.
And McFadden is a very, very good batter. Got a big hit yesterday. One of the outstanding batters on this team. In fact, he's batting 4th. That's your power batting spot.
Well, not on this occasion, with Herlihy coming across with the goods to take strikeout number 11. The Can-Am side stays scoreless, their first run having come in the 3rd innings with that automatic home run from Rothrock. They have stayed scoreless since. 3 outs later, New Zealand will win the game if they can keep the Americans scoreless in the next innings. Meanwhile, it's the New Zealanders' turn to have their last turn at bat in the 7th of 7 regulation innings.
Well, Gary, it sounds a bit quiet at the moment, but all softballers know that that was the vital innings. And New Zealand really had to work hard to preserve that 1-run lead. So even though there wasn't a lot of noise and excitement, that was the hard innings. That was the one where we really had to contain the top 4 batters on that side. But I'd like to see New Zealand score again here in this innings. I mean, they are on top now. Let's see, you know, the good teams grow from this point. They don't just hang on, do they?
No, they shouldn't feel happy with a 1-run lead. And here we've got the top of the order. Mike Nichols is batting at number 9, but for mine,
He's
you
top
can
of
call
the
him
order.
number 1 if you like. Then we get into Jeff Strom, Eddie Kalassi, and if we get that far, Jimmy Cotter.
I think we will. I think we'll do well in this inning. They're really good batters, and Scheller has all the pressure on him now. He's 1 run behind.
Let's have another look at that last steal, because it really does display how quickly Ruscoe gets along the bases. Now, Stringer takes it cleanly, whack with the throw, and he's got a bullet arm, and he's too late. So
well, yes, but once again, Stringer is catching that ball backhanded with his glove. He's just, you can see that he's a month or so away from catching it his best at the moment. If he had had the glove the other way, the ball would have gone straight away into his hand. But to catch it backhand, then the ball has to be brought high.
Mike Nichols out at first. One down. Okay, new batter in will be top of the order man Jeff Strom. And we can tell you already that there will be a change in the Can-Am side as we move into their bottom half of the 7th innings, with Matt Dijack going to bat. But that is some minutes away yet. Jeff Strom, 1 turn at bat for 1 hit, because on his other 2 turns he has walked on 1 occasion and was on base with a fielder's choice on another.
Okay, Jeff Strom, eh? He really wants the World Series. He wants to be lead-off batter for New Zealand at the World Series, and he hasn't done anything wrong today. They're really going for that outside corner, Gary. The umps are calling it, and the pitchers are really working it. Good. Oh, went foul. But that's great to see a batter move up in the box like that and go for
It shows a lot of confidence when he thinks that he can get bat to ball, that he's
while
on
he's
the move.
moving. While he's moving, it's great. It's exciting to see our players get these extra tricks.
1 out in the top half of the first innings. Jeff Strong lets it go by. Ball 2, strike 2 the call. And New Zealand enjoying this 2-1 lead over the Can-Am All-Stars here at Narana Park in pleasant conditions in Auckland.
Beautiful conditions.
Strike!
Oh, he
See you later,
strong.
Jeff Strong. Struck out. First time he has struck out in this game. Records strikeout number 7 for Rob Scheller. And the new batter in. And perhaps the last out of the game so far as New Zealand's turn at bat is concerned is Eddie Kalassi, right here from Auckland,
And
plays at second base.
And he is overdue on his home pitch here. 0 for 3 for Eddie. He won't be happy with that. I would say he is the most exciting softball player we've seen in the last few years, Gary. The most exciting youngster to come through.
Yes, he certainly plays the game with a lot of style and a lot of ability. Strike 2.
Scheller working hard.
2 down here.
I think he and Kalassi are actually on the same side in Auckland, so he would know a lot about Kalassi.
Right, that's the 8th strikeout recorded, and it goes against the name of that fellow there, Eddie Kalassi. His father's name was Eric.
Father's name was Eric, also a New Zealand softball player. Here, watch this now. It's not an easy man to fool, Eddie. Good drop. Boy, they're using a lot of drops, aren't they? See, what we say with that drop, if the ball hadn't dropped, that would have been a good hit because the bat was where the ball was, only suddenly down it goes. It's just like an in-swinger from Cairns. You think he got the thing, and suddenly, ouch.
Well, a new batter in for the Can-Am side. Should we get that far, will he open the batting? Is it, do we see Matt Dijack coming in? Only if we get down as far as Bruce Beard.
I think they're going to be going for the fence, Gary. They're going to want to look to even it up with one pitch. Herlihy will know that.
The man with all the pressure on him at the moment, and this is the bottom half of the 7th innings, is that fellow there, Kevin Herlihy. And he will be ever so conscious of just what is required of him.
But, Gary, it's got to be said, doesn't it? What a difference in attitude with the New Zealand team with Kevin Herlihy on the mound.
Sure.
I mean, to line up in back of one of our sporting heroes compared to how nervous we were there yesterday is just a world of difference.
Dennis Eckert in the batter's box.
Good out.
Oh, well
good
done,
out
Herlihy.
for Kevin Herlihy, because that was a good hit, and that would have been danger if that man was safe on one. Just watch this on the replay. Now, Kevin is not the youngest sportsman in this country. He's been in the A grade for 19 years. Look at this. Great stuff. That's a long arm. Actually, he was a good basketball player in his day. He's a bit on the evil side, but he was good.
Rocky Vitale, the new batter in.
Nice bunt. They won't get him. Good bunt from Vitale. Cracker of a bunt, actually. A dead ball bunt. In other words, you don't hold your hand firmly on the bat. You hold it loose. Here, watch this now. He's very happy with this. It's a dead bat bunt. See how it just drops down and doesn't roll out far, whereas if he was holding the bat firmly, it would have been an easy out. Good bat from Vitale.
A.V. Stubbington, the designated hitter, moves to the batter's box.
We got a bit of excitement here.
The heart beat a little faster.
I probably have a runner on one for Vitale, and I'd look for either the hit and run. Vitale's got to get down to 2, but they're not going to waste Stubbington. He's going to be going for the fence. Keep in mind, one over the fence now would reverse the score. Oh, it's just straight up. That's 1,000,000 miles high. Jimmy Hall waiting, 2 down. And everyone breathes a little easier as AV heads to the dugout.
Watch this go off the top of the bat. It sails high. They all look heavenwards. There's the ball, dropping. Jimmy Hall with the safe bit of leather. Gathers it in, 2 down.
And
that's the man who took the catch.
There's going to be a bit of a quiet whoop and a holler if this is the 3rd out, isn't it? Because this is New Zealand back on top. Yesterday was grim. There was rained out last week. Now New Zealand once again back on top. Good cut. Burnside going for the creek. Herlihy would love to end this game in a strikeout, wouldn't he, Gary?
Well, he certainly would deserve to. He's taken 11 strikeouts in the game so far, but it'll be in his mind that there's a Can-Am runner on first base. Randy Burnside, the batter. Ball.
1-1.
There's a picture of concentration for you.
What's he going to go after here? I think that outside corner again with another drop.
Strike 2, ball 1. Maybe 1 pitch away from ending this game.
And high inside here, see if he can jam him. Yep. Oh, thought he had him. I thought he had him there.
Ball 2, strike 2.
This time he's just going to blow it past him. Straight speed. Straight speed. Best man wins. Hall got it. Hall got it. Oh, gee, that must have been close. That ball had bounced over Hall's head.
You got time.
Watch
Let's
this.
look at it again, because Hall had to climb into the heavens to grab that one.
I think if he had to do it all over again, he would have gone to 2, Gary.
That's the closest of calls, but there they were, both arriving at the same time. There are runners on first and second, and suddenly New Zealand finds themselves sitting on a razor blade.
Right, we sure do here. Who's up? Matt Dijack is into bat for Bruce Beard at the moment. This is the Auckland outfielder who did very well at the Nationals. Hey, it's all on here at the moment, actually. Dijack into bat for Beard. Runners on first and second. How many down?
2 outs.
2 down. Herlihy will want this at the plate. He'll want a K, Dijack. He certainly won't want to give him a high pitch.
Oh!
Gee.
Well, suddenly we have a very intensive pressure situation.
Well, do you know who's on deck? Rothrock's on deck.
Right.
So if he walks